Welcome to Tuesday with Shoeb. I'm Grant Cohn. That's Shoeb Shaikh. And he is a special guest to the show. He is a cousin of one of the top guys at Warriors World. He reached out to me and said, you got to do a show with my cousin. Cousin reached out and had a bunch of good ideas. And I love guys that reach out with lots of good ideas. So we're doing a show. Shoeb, it's a pleasure to meet you. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and how you became a Niner fan?
So Niner... I go by on my my fantasy teams as gold-blooded, raised in the Bay Area. My father immigrated from India, and he said, okay, this is the way of life. You have to bleed red and gold. And we've been a part of the Bay Area community for a long time, and a Niner fan for life. And, one of the great things that we have in our social circle is WhatsApp, a thread. A bunch of our cousins are on it. And we talk 24/7 sports. I mean, you can wake up at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. If you've got a take, someone is going to be responding back with you. So amazing opportunity, Grant. I want to thank my cousin Harun over at Warriors World for setting this up. And really excited, passionate about talking about the Niners. So,
absolutely. Let's get right into it. First topic. Who is the captain of the 49ers ship right now? Is it John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Jed York, Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuel, Ross Dwelly? Who would you say?
So this is the thing that keeps me up at night, because we're always used to seeing a C on the captain, and we're always saying like, oh, this is the guy that no matter what, through thick and thin, is going to be delivering us with some sort of confidence, some sort of, hey, trust the process. I'm still not certain, Grant. I'm still not certain of who the captain is. Is it Jed? Let's start at the top. Is it Jed, who typically, ownership, leadership sets the tone from the top. And so great, Jed had some, terrible decisions during the Harbaugh time, kind of stayed a bit too in front of the team. Everyone said, hey, back off, Jed. So
right.
He backed off. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
But now you go to the next level and say, okay, great. We've handed the keys to our ship, the Niners, over to Shanahan and Lynch. Wonderful. They came in with so much promise. I was the first one in line saying, yep, Kyle is our man. Let's go. He's installed an amazing offense in Falcons, comes with a great pedigree. He's the captain. So we gave him the keys, him and Lynch. Now, 5 years in, you got to ponder, are they doing the right things to be the true captains of this ship? 5 years in, are we seeing the results? It's not anyone on the field. I don't think there's a true captain in the locker room that's going to get everyone to rally behind him. You already saw that with Jimmy. Jimmy has the C. He is sort of the face of the franchise to a degree. But if you ask the fan base, if you really go to the locker room, I don't know if you're going to find a lot of people saying, hey, get me, Jimmy's our man. Jimmy's going to be the person. So this, to me, is one of the fundamental problems that we have. And the more I thought about it during the bye week, the more it makes sense, is we don't have a captain of the ship, a true captain that's going to say, I am going to take you to the promised land. Come with me. Here's my strategy. Here's my game plan. Let me put my vision board up and let me get you there. So I think that's the fundamental problem. I think it has to start from the top. Jed has to be sort of the captain to a degree in the background. He has to set the tone of what he wants out of the franchise, communicate that effectively to Kyle and Lynch, and then they have to make it happen. And I'm not seeing that. And that's why I asked the question of who is the captain of the ship. I'm taking polls offline, and you see the poll, it's like 25% everywhere. And that doesn't necessarily bring a lot of confidence in me or for me to say, yep, we have a clear leader.
Right. Like Jed has sort of just abdicated responsibility. He did too much in the Harbaugh years. He took a lot of flack, and he's like, all right, I hired hired John and Kyle, and I'm out. Like, you won't hear from me anymore. And I'm going to just keep extending them and try to create the impression that we have like a good football culture here that can consistently win. But that's not what has happened. They've had one winning season. And when John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan are talking in the media right now about why in year 5 they're not winning, they talk about execution. And again, it's like no one is saying this is something I can fix.
Yep.
This is something I'm going to do. It's like, well, if these few players is just executed, like, okay, well, how are you going to get them to execute? But why do we think you're going to? They sound like a team that's kind of passing around responsibility.
It totally is. And the passing of that baton, or not even the baton, it's accountability. Like, you have to have accountability, right? And you expect the leadership to have that accountability. Debo Samuel isn't going to say, "Hey, I'm WR1, give me the responsibility. I'm going to carry the rock."
Yeah, put it on me if we lose the game. I didn't break enough tackles.
Right. I
What's
mean,
he
you're
say?
not going to get that. But you
No.
have to have this is in life, in corporate America, in every sort in government. You have to have leadership at the top, take accountability, and say, "Look, we're going to execute based on X, and
Yeah.
X has to be that strategy."
This is
And
the
right
plan.
now, this is the plan. I thought we had a plan, Grant. I thought we had a plan. I thought we had hey, we were a run first offense. We were going to get running backs that are going to fit our mold, and we were going to execute to that plan.
Trading up to number 3 indicated someone with a strong plan. Like, oh, these guys have conviction. Wow.
Hold up, you got an offensive lineman to open up holes for you. You got a running back that was supposedly should have been maybe picked a little bit lower down in the ranks, but you got him. Okay, great. So that means you don't.
Yeah.
Maybe Raheem is not the guy for the next 2-3 years because of his injury status. Great call. Love the call. Go out and get a running back.
Yeah.
But where's the plan then?
Stick to the plan. You just pivoted 180 in May for no reason.
For no reason.
For no reason. And you're like surprised that you're 2-3. That's what happens.
Yep.
You need to have a coherent plan. It's like the beginning of Lord of the Rings. Okay, we're gonna take the ring to Mordor. How are we gonna get there? Well, we're gonna go over here first, and then we might double back. No, you gotta actually have a plan and then follow through. And Kyle Shanahan's like, well, I said John had the map. I don't know what to tell you. And part of my issue with this team is like sometimes Adam Peters gets the credit for something. Sometimes John Lynch gets the credit for something, and sometimes Kyle Shanahan. If this season were to go real bad and Jed were to fire like one person, how could you honestly decide which person is responsible for which mistake? I don't see how you could. I think you kind of have to start over or give them all a second chance, a third chance, sixth chance.
It's the Control-Alt-Delete. You only get like maybe like 2 or 3 Control-Alt-Deletes in a decade. Yeah. It's not like, hey, one season Control-Alt-Delete, I'm going to refresh.
Right.
No, you don't get that. You get one. And you're essentially holding your franchise, I'm not going to say hostage, but you're setting them back by at least 2-3 years, if not more, because of that Control-Alt-Delete, because now you have to put in a whole new regime. And this is, I think maybe Jed's up at night thinking, hey, I got no backup for Kyle right now. I look across who's available and nothing really strikes me as something that I want to bring in, and that's why I'm going to keep, hanging on to Kyle and hoping something, But if I was Jed, like I typically do this, I'll put myself in their role and I'll say, okay, what can I do? If I was Jed, wouldn't you want to go in and say, Kyle, we've had 5 years, can you please lay out a plan? Can you, I'm a business owner. What is your business plan? Give me a 3 to 5 year outlook of what the business plan is. Besides,
Sean, real quick though, what if this is the plan? What if this is the plan? I like going to conspiracy theory, and then we're going to go to the next topic. But what if this is the plan? What if Kyle said the plan was, I want Mac Jones? That's been reported, and Mac Jones looks good. He might have been right about Mac. I don't know. So he says, I want Mac Jones, and the fan base revolts. The front office says we prefer Trey Lance, and Jed says no on Mac Jones. Kyle's like, okay, all right, fine, okay, we're gonna go to Trey Lance. That's fine. But if that's the plan, here's my plan. He doesn't play year 1. He may not play year 2. You gotta really let me go slow with Trey because he's my second choice. And my professional opinion is he needs a lot of work. And maybe Jed said, all right. And what we're seeing is a guy who has like a wink, wink, nod, nod. You're going to be here for a while, no matter what. I don't know. What do you think? No.
I mean, conspiracy.
That would be a big mistake on Jed's part, right?
That would be a huge mistake.
Huge mistake
On Jed's part. Yeah. And conspiracy theories aside, and we'll probably touch upon this a little bit later. Conspiracy theories aside, as a coach, as a person who was hired to be the offensive guru of your generation, like this is what he came in with. That was his credential, right?
Right. It was like Kanye West in rap and him in football. Like he was the Kanye West of the NFL.
He was innovative. He was touted as someone who can revive Matt Ryan's career. He had only one real Hoff in Julio Jones. He made it work. Thank you so much. Here's your resume. You got it.
Yeah.
But if you're coming in with that and you're telling me, even if you didn't get the guy you wanted, even if you didn't get Mac Jones, and Mac Jones he's a great game manager and he's playing it through.
Yeah, what's the upside there anyway? Like, whatever, dude. We missed on Mac Jones.
I got Mac Jones in fantasy. He's waiting to get his start in my fantasy team.
His passer rating is 1 point higher than Trey Lance's right now, and Lance can run. So I mean, look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even if you wanted to get Mac Jones and you didn't, but as an offensive guru, you would be like, okay, cool. I didn't get the man I wanted, but I can work with this guy. I know what
because I'm great.
Because I'm great. I know. I can build a whole offense around him. I mean, isn't that what offensive coordinators and head coaches do? They take take what's been given to them and make them succeed, right?
What I heard is that in 1979, Bill Walsh wanted Phil Simms and was under the impression he was going to get Phil Simms, and then the Giants swooped in and surprised him and took Phil Simms, and Bill Walsh was heartbroken. And someone in the organization went to Notre Dame and was like, "Hey, man, this guy Joe in the third, you might." And Bill made it freaking work because he was the greatest, and Joe was great too. But I mean, it's that mentality. Let's move on to the next topic though, because we have about 14 of them.
Yeah,
the state of Shanny. He used to conjure up so much excitement for 49er fans. Now, for the first time in about half a decade, he's really conjuring up more doubt than excitement. What's happened to this guy since 2019? He ran through the Packers in the NFC Championship game. It was legendary. That game was legendary. Ever since then, I don't know, man. It's like he's a totally different coach.
He seems hesitant. He seems to second guess himself. He seems to forget what his strengths are. And when it comes down to it, he's not trusting in himself. You have clear-cut game plan plays, but yet you limit yourself to 2 pages of that playbook. Hell, with Trey Lance, you limited to like a corner of that playbook. This is what bewilders me, right? I mean, this is what bewilders me. The same playbook that you use for Jimmy Garoppolo when he can't throw past 10 yards, you're telling me now all of a sudden you're going to abandon all the things that work with Jimmy, and you're not gonna use that even once during that Trey Lance game blew me away.
Yeah,
Shanahan had he had everything going for him. If you were to keep this conspiracy theory of we got to play Jimmy gets hurt. Now this sets up the perfect situation for Trey Lance to get in there. Granted, he's raw. Granted, he hasn't had, and I'm gonna.
If you want him to get in there,
but he is forced in there. Let's just again. This is the thing. You have to play with the cards that are dealt.
Right.
He is put in that moment. So now you have to find a way to succeed. You have to make him succeed, because eventually, like anything, that if you're going to succeed, if your team succeeds at any level, any position. So in this specific situation,
real quick. Yeah. The thing about that game plan, they talk about the issue being that the offense isn't executing, the team isn't executing. Well, you put in a game plan full of concepts and plays that you never run. So it's not just that how is the offensive line going to do blocking quarterback power? They don't do that. They've never done that before. No, right? This isn't going to be something they're going to be good at. So they had offensive execution issues. They had holding penalties. Yeah, of course. That's what happened. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no wonder. I mean, I love it. I love the passion, because
that's a symptom of having like a rinky, of losing your identity for no reason.
Exactly. And I think that goes back to the original question that you said is, where has Shanny gone wrong? I think Shanahan, great coach. He's just losing confidence, so much so that he's doubting himself. When you're kind of like distraught, you're beaten down, you've got nothing going. You're like, hell, I lost Jimmy, I lost maybe Mac Jones, and now I don't trust anybody.
Super Bowl again,
and now
he's never been the same. I think you just said it, man. It's his confidence. He was the most confident coach in the NFL. He was arrogant. People loved it in 2019.
Yeah,
2 years ago, and then he had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter again, and blew it again. It's hard to walk around with that same swagger when you're basically the dude in American Pie. You know what I mean? Who's like the Shermanator. Like if
Yeah,
you blew it, like you're the Shermanator. Sorry, you're not the cool kid. You blew it.
we saw this happen. Like if you remember, you probably remember, like the good old days when Jim Kelly was leading the Bills. Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl, you keep losing, and it's going to wear you out. And Shanahan, I think, yes, definitely started with the Super Bowl. He's lost his confidence. He needs to bring it back. And I think the only, as we talk about, like for me, I always like to talk about, okay, if I present a problem, I want to present a solution, right? So if we know that this is the problem, that Shanahan potentially has lost his confidence, how is he going to gain that confidence back? It starts with, hey, lay out a plan, stick to the plan, pick a guy, and build something around that guy, right?
But I think being indecisive and not having a plan, not sticking to a plan, is a symptom again of being unconfident.
Yes, definitely. And someone might say, but he did go for all those fourth down situations last game. That's confidence. No, right? No, that's not confidence. That's not confidence. That's like, wait a second, you're just reaching now. You're throwing. You're reaching. You're throwing anything.
And it was totally out of his person. He's never done anything.
It is not his name. That's what frustrates me.
I'm sure the analytics said it was the right thing to do, but he's never acted that way. He acted out of character. The whole game was out of character for him. Meanwhile, D'Amico's in the background, chugging along, doing great. We missed in the back. Who's the captain of this team? Obviously, the defensive coordinator is never captain. But like with Robert Saleh, D'Amico is showing the characteristics of one. And Saleh, dude, God love him. I could have predicted this. Dude, you needed a better offensive coordinator. I'm right here. I don't know what you brought with you to New York. It's not going to work. But yeah, because the defensive coordinators are always at the mercy of their offensive coordinators. And I don't know if it's going to work for Saleh on the floor. But anyway, he's a captain. D'Amico's a captain. Kyle.
I want him to be the captain.
We gotta help him get his confidence back. He lost his mojo.
We gotta get the swag back. We gotta get this.
He needs to watch Austin Powers 2.
We got to put some nice inspirational words behind the red cap. You need something, and
you're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you.
That's right. Bring that Saturday Night Live skit back. Let's have
seriously. No, I think I've had so many people on my channel. What's the deal with Kyle? No one has said maybe it's his confidence. It's so simple, but yet so right on. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these drafts, though. The APB on the drafts. There are some people who are MI the Niners drafted very high, like recently, Brandon Ayuk and Javon Kinlaw. Should we go through it? You go ahead.
Let me first start off by saying Niners traditionally, what's their hit rate? What is the success rate percentage-wise of people they've drafted and they've done really well? I'm not a statistician. I don't have the numbers in front of me. But I
of course, what you're saying is they're not going to hit every pick. They're not going to hit half of their picks.
They're not going to hit half their picks.
No.
So everyone gets a pass because the draft is, in a way, a big gamble. We don't know how people are going to perform based on their collegiate experience. We don't know how they're going to. We have generally a good idea, but here's the bottom line.
These aren't products. These are young men. And that haven't had a lot of money before, and that stuff happens. Yeah.
But also, the whole reason for a scout and a scouting team and a scouting program is for them. They're the ones that are getting paid.
Science. Yes,
they're getting paid. They're looking at analytics. They're making the trips. They're going out. They're talking to families. They're looking character. They're doing all this. So yes, through that vetting process, you're going to be given a list, and from that list, you're going to pick someone, and you figure. It's like buying a used car. Someone's gone through the inspection report for you to be able to make an assessment. Yeah, I'm going to take a gamble on this one, right?
Right. Very much like a used car, because there's accident reports and injuries and surgeries and all that. Very much, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to get that report, and then you're going to act on it. And now in the Niners case, they're acting. Again, this goes back to Kyle and Lynch. We haven't had success, so we're going to take a little bit more gamble on this next draft. We're going to package a lot more to try to get one good player, Trey Lance. We're going to try to reach to give him more protection and get our running game some more, reach.
Yeah, as opposed to, Sante Samuel just happens to be there at 44. You didn't expect that at all. Oh,
right.
Maybe we should.
And you look at
we need Aaron Banks.
For sure. And you look at, like, for example, I'm going to go back to, the hoodie. I'm going to go back to Belichick. And so this is, to me, like, everyone has their opinions on Bill, but, he takes a very calm approach to everything that he does. Very calm. You don't see like his
Can't tell if
demeanor
he's
go up
winning. You
and
can't tell
down.
if he's losing. He's very stoic. Yeah.
He's very stoic.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
that transcends also to his decision making. He was firm in, hey, I'm not going to move up. I'm not going to move down. I'm going to let the everything fall where it will.
Yeah, dude. If Mac Jones had just happened to go 14, he'd be like, oh, all right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All
I'll
right.
work with it.
I didn't
Right?
want him at 14. I wanted him at 15.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kyle said if you liked him at 12, you should like him at 3. Bill didn't feel that way. He liked him at 15. That's where he liked him. 15.
3 and 14, 3, 12, 3, 15. That's a big difference. I mean, you're not
It's a
talking
huge freaking difference.
Huge, right? So I think with the draft class, let's start with Brandon Ayuk, because I think I have another topic on the Yukester down below.
We do. We're gonna get to
right?
Yukester.
Okay, so let's talk about Ayuk a little bit later. But the reaches, I think, are, again, this is not a Kyle issue. This goes back to John Lynch. John Lynch, man, he was a hitter. He's a safety, Cardinal, Hall of Fame hitter.
Yeah.
Is he hitting on these draft picks? I don't think so. The best hit, I think, is probably back in one of his playing days.
I think what's so alarming is that he's like whiffing hard. He's not getting guys who like contribute, but they were kind of, I mean, McGlinchey's like that. The contributor, but he's not what you wanted.
No.
Straight up whiffs, man. I mean,
right. And what is
this right now?
What is his take on that? Lynch's comments in some of his
I gotta execute.
Are you kidding me with this execution bull? Come on. It's a yes, they have to execute.
You got to draft better, man.
You got to draft better. Let's put it that way.
Better, man.
You got to draft better. And then, okay, again, going back to the first point, are you putting them in the position to be better? And this I'll save for the Ayuk conversation, but that's the other question they have to ask is, are we putting in enough investment in our investment? Are we spending that time with them? Are we working on their physical game? Are we working on their emotional game? Are we working on them to be better people? Like, to me, as a GM, as a head coach, you got to be working all 3 factors: mind, body, soul. You got to put that player, this person that you have given up so much for, and we're not talking first round draft picks, Grant. Again, those are franchise killers if they don't work out. Those are franchise for decades.
My take here is people don't talk about position coaches very much, but they're extremely important because, like, the coordinators are the idea men. Yeah. And ideas are extremely important, but they don't work unless you can implement all the little techniques that make them work. And that's why Chris Kosrick's so important, Bobby Turner's so important, John Embry's so important. The wide receiver coach, Wes Welker. I mean, he was a good player, but he also, his skill set was very specific. He was a 5'7" slot receiver who was kind of like a punt returner, yards after the catch specialist, a lot like Debo, like a small Debo. What does he really have to teach Brandon Ayuk? Yeah. What track record does he have of success developing young wide receivers like Dante Pettis and Richie James? Maybe Kyle could get a better wide receiver coach than Wes Welker.
Yeah. No, for sure. And that's, again, the point I was trying to make earlier was that, are you putting these players in a position to succeed? Are you surrounding them with mentors, people, process?
Kyle's never, ever fired a position coach, but he'll say Brandon Ayuk needs to play better, man. Like, I think Ayuk is much more valuable to an organization than freaking Wes Welker at this point. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's go to Ayuk because now I'm pumped.
All right, let's go to Ayuk right now. Hold on. We'll just jump where we at? Right there. Free Ayuk. Hashtag.
Free
I would wear that shirt.
Free Ayuk.
I would wear that shirt.
You would? I'm going to start.
I would wear that shirt.
Let's go. Let's start.
I wear to the facility too.
What's that? Yeah, why not? That's the thing. Yeah. Let's line up some fans outside with some free Ayuk stuff. You're telling me a guy that you picked and rated high in the draft just the year before, you're telling me the guy that was so close to a Pro Bowl berth, you're telling me that the guy that you were so heavy in terms of, hey, this guy could be our next big thing, and this was the talk around the nation, right? You're telling me suddenly in the offseason, without injury, without any sort of news blip on any sort of domestic or
he's in good shape.
He's in good shape.
Last year.
Did you see him at Krispy Kreme? I didn't. So
nope.
No, so I mean, you're telling me that guy has that much of a far drop off to suddenly be out of your playbook, and suddenly you're going to bring in pump up Sherfield?
Who isn't getting the ball, by the way? Who isn't getting the ball?
No. Who isn't getting the ball? So the guy that you said that this is the guy that's going to be great, but he's got some work to do. We got some other person in. He's better. Okay,
Real quick,
you're
real
telling
quick.
me
They freaking said that if Javon Kinlaw wasn't there, that if he had gotten picked when they traded down, they were going to take Ayuk at 14. They
Come on.
said that Ayuk and CeeDee Lamb
Yeah,
were
1
the
and 1.
2 highest rated wide receivers they had on their board.
That's
That's
right.
what they said. Things like this. They didn't
1A
have to
and
say
1B.
that.
They didn't.
They
And
didn't.
so now let's just think about this, because this goes back to on Trey as well as Ayuk. Psychologically, you pick a guy that high, you pick a guy saying you're the man, you're going to carry the rock.
Trade up for him.
Hey, we're the
Multiple picks.
Niners. Grant, we're the
Multiple picks.
Niners.
Yeah.
We're the Niners. Rice,
Yeah.
Taylor. I mean, Owens, the Hall of Famers. You're getting the baton, buddy. You build him up. You psych him up. You give him time. You make him work. You build plays around him.
He gets all those targets year 1. The expectation is he's going to get more year 2.
You make him succeed. You make him succeed. And then what do you do?
Pull the rug out from him, just like you did with Dante Pettis. Now, Pettis deserved it, I guess. But why would you feel that Ayuk deserved the same treatment? What did he possibly do?
What did he do? Is he Antonio Brown? No.
No.
Is he Kareem Hunt? No. He's not any.
Maybe he's a little immature. Maybe he
Who
lines
isn't?
up in the wrong
Second
spot.
year.
Sometimes maybe work with him.
Second
Bring out
year.
the best in him. Yeah.
Yes. So I think with Ayuk, honestly, I think they've gotten it to a point where this shows their lack of confidence, their wishy-washiness, their Charlie Brown attitude. They've given up on a guy that they had not only. See, the thing is that if they had given up on him when he did improve himself in year 1, I could say, okay, cool, he's got some work to do. However, if he's proven himself in year 1 and then you pull him out in year 2 and say he's got all these issues, I'm not buying it. I don't think it's just the injury.
I got a theory with this because Kyle has a clear pattern here. He was a wide receiver, not a good one. He was at freaking Texas. I don't know. I think he caught a few passes at Texas, but he was there because of his dad, and Hightower was there too. Anyway, I think he's one of these guys who was like a try-hard grinder at wide receiver and just doesn't like super talented playmaker wide receivers who don't grind as hard as he did. So, for example, this guy comes into the league, has a great first year, and then probably comes in his second year, maybe making more mistakes than Kyle would like. And still a good athlete, though. And Kyle wants to, like, prove a point, you know?
Yeah.
And he starts saying, like, well, Trent Sherfield is a better pro than you. He misses fewer assignments. He runs the right routes more. It's like, dude, why do you feel this is the right way of coaching Brandon Ayuk? Why do you feel this is going to get the best out of him? I mean, I know you may have some type of gripe against players like him, but maybe that has more to do with you than him, man. Maybe that's you.
Don't we value talent at a premium in sports?
No, we value players like River Craycraft. Sorry, River. I just brought you into this. It had nothing to do with you, River. But it's just sorry.
Yeah, don't we? I mean, I thought we value talent, and I thought we do everything we can to promote and develop talent.
No. Forget River Craycraft. Mohamed Sanu. Why is Mohamed Sanu getting targets? Any target he gets is a waste. Sorry, Mohamed.
I want to know his 40 time right now.
Yeah.
I want to know Sanu's 40 time. What's the point? Where are you going in your plan? In your 3 to 5 year plan, is Sanu going to be an instrumental part? Just ask yourself this. That's the easiest thing to do as a coach. If something doesn't fit that 3 to 5 year plan, don't play it. You gotta just get the people the reps they need to be able to fit that 3 to 5 year plan.
And to me, this is why I've been really arguing all year that Trey Lance needs to start and not Jimmy Garoppolo. Is like, you've said that Jimmy's not going to be here next year, or in ideal world, he won't be. So the only way you can justify playing him right now is if you think he's going to win the Super Bowl. But if you thought he was going to win the Super Bowl, then Trey Lance wouldn't freaking be here. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, we're going to get to all this.
We're going to get
to answer a couple questions real quick.
Yep.
Finish your point, and then we'll answer a couple questions.
No problem. I'm going to finish my point on Brandon Ayuk. I think free Ayuk, it has to be done. You have to get him, just like Shanahan needs to build his confidence. He needs to start building his confidence around the players that are going to be able to do it on the field. Ayuk is a bona fide, amazing receiver. He showed it. He's proved it. You don't lose that overnight. You got to give the guy some chances, put him in position, give him plays that he's been good at last year. Hey, give him the same plays. You know, have him do the slants, have him do the quick button hooks, have him go out there and prove that he can. I'm telling you, if you give him the targets, he's going to show up. One last parallel, look at Jamar Chase. Preseason, he was like, oh, they whiffed. Cincinnati did not pick the right receiver. They trusted Joe Burrow too much, bringing in his friend. Preseason, he was a dog in the dog. And what is Jamar Chase doing now? Rookie of the
Balling
year.
out. Yeah.
Rookie of the year.
Real quick, people are saying Ayuk isn't getting the same level of separation that he was getting last year. First of all, Jamar Chase doesn't get a ton of separation either. He's just a really good wide receiver. And second of all, the person who's locking down Brandon Ayuk right now, more than anyone, is Kyle freaking Shanahan. Okay, let's move on. Couple of questions. Tobin says confidence and key leaders lost. Buck, Sherm, Sanders. Yeah, I couldn't help noticing Emmanuel Sanders last night against the Bills, thinking
should have kept him.
Had a good relationship with Jimmy G. I mean, really, Jimmy G loved that guy.
Yeah. He was an amazing. Jimmy looks across the field in his first, stops at the first, maybe the second progression, sees Sanders. He could trust Sanders.
Trust you.
He should have kept him.
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty obvious. Like, you let him go. You made this huge investment in Ayuk, and now you don't like Ayuk. Well, you're telling me that you should have kept Sanders. All right. Trey says, what is the common theme here? I would say inexperience and stubbornness. Kyle Lynch, running backs, wide receivers, position coaches are inexperienced. Stubborn with injury-prone players like Tart Ward. Yeah, I mean, it's like you brought in Kyle, who was a coup. He was a real good hire at the time. But you promoted him so high, you gave him so many things he'd never done before. And you didn't bring him into an organ. Like the Rams brought in Sean McVay, who I think was 31 or 32 at the time. Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, well, we have a general manager we like. Yep. He didn't have a great reputation at the time because he'd been working with Jeff Fisher, but they liked him. Yep. And they didn't just say, like, look, we freaking suck. All right. You and your 32-year-old wisdom, just do whatever you want to do. They didn't do that. They're like, we're going to put you in position to succeed and let you do what you do well. The Niners didn't do that at all. And so you really have talented people learning on the job in so many ways.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. It's reaction. There's two things. There's a proactive approach where you plan and have something in motion. And then there's a reactive approach, which is
Jed.
Okay. You said it.
Which is Jed. Yeah, sorry. The Jedi says the Niners need to lose these two games in order for Kyle and John to see the light. Tell me I'm wrong. In order for them to see the light, if they lose the next two games, Jed's going to see the light. I don't know if you guys want that to. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I don't want that to happen.
It's not going to happen. All right, let's get back. Fast forward. 3 things the Niners need to do to get back on track. And I think I think they're going to win the next 2 games. So what are the 3 things they need to do?
They got to show me a game plan and a strategy for the next 3 to 5 years to start at the top. Let me see that strategy. Let's get that confidence and swagger back.
Yeah.
First and foremost. And it starts with putting that plan in. Right. Second, they got to say bye to Jimmy. They have to make that, declare it, say, Trey's hurt. Trey's our future. As soon as he's back, we're going to work him into our game plan. They have to do that because that, I think, will show people that everything else you've done till this point has been towards a plan. If you're going to say we're going to keep running Jimmy out there like a bad sequel to a movie when everyone already knows the ending and no one liked the ending and no one liked the movie, if you're going to keep saying that and say this is the horse that we've tied that we're tying to our house every single night, that's not building confidence. That's sticking to something that didn't work. So to me, they have to make a critical decision coming up to make Trey the person that you've given up all your draft capital for and put the next 10 years on the line for. They got to do that.
Yes.
The third, they have to play hard, get the confidence that they need from every player. And they're going to do that, again, with the right amount of coaching at the position level. They're going to do that with Shanahan being able to say, look, we're going to look and play to your strengths, and we're going to play with our best talent. Mm-hmm. No, there is no concept of doghouse anymore. We're going to play with the best talent, and you have to put the best talent on the field.
Thank you. I like that. Forget the doghouse.
Forget the doghouse.
We're throwing out the doghouse.
Yeah. I'm putting myself in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Right? Take some humility. Take some humble pie. Accept your own mistakes. Accept where, hey, the stuff that I was planning wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I'm going to make a change. And this is how I'm going to make a change. What are the 12 steps to AA? Go through those 12 steps. Admit your mistake, try to fix it, make amends, and move on. That's what I want to see. Those are the things. 3 things. Simple.
Okay, this is interesting. So you say move on from Jimmy Garoppolo. I agree. The next 2 games, he's probably going to start if he
Yep.
doesn't get hurt again. So that means he should win 2 more. He should legitimately play well the next 2 weeks. The second game is October 31st. Do you know what the second is? November 2nd? That's the trade deadline.
Killed it.
That's the trade deadline.
They're not trading him. They have no insurance. If truly Trey is injured, they have no insurance. They can't, that's the thing. They can't switch. They can't. And I don't even know how valid that whole,
Gives Trey 2 weeks to get healthy. Look, everyone's saying Mac Jones is doing a great job. Trey's numbers are just as good.
Yep.
Just saying.
Here's the thing on Trey. You can't trade Jimmy. We know we can't trade Jimmy unless there's a proven backup, right? You don't want to give the keys to nobody, especially if the guy's injured. But let's say he wasn't injured. Let's go back a week. Yeah, we definitely miss those Patrick Willis days. Let's go back a week, right? Let's go back a week. You had the opportunity to bring in Trey and to make him succeed without getting him injured.
Right. Instead, you ran him 16 times, and you were like, "Oh my God, he got hurt."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? That's terrible.
Right?
I'm so upset.
So I'm going back to that because that to me set up the next 2 weeks. You played your franchise, future franchise. You played him in bad situations. The probability of him getting hurt with all those crazy plays, and it wasn't even plays that he's good at running with. No. Let's go back. I mean, did Kaepernick get
run into a pile?
Right. So I mean, you set him up for failure.
Healthy? Do it again.
You've set him up for failure, and now you've got Jimmy. You can't make that transition. And not only that,
they should win these next 2 games with Jimmy and trade him to the Browns for like Odell. Straight up. Odell. Do it. Because the Browns are desperate. Baker's falling apart. He's not good. He's hurt. They might do something like this. I mean, the difference between Jimmy and Baker is so freaking negligible anyway.
True.
If the Browns call and they're like, "We'll trade you Odell for Jimmy," would you please say yes?
Yes.
Would you please say yes? I'm not a huge Odell fan, but come on, he's better than freaking Jimmy.
If they called me and said, "Here's a bag of Frito chips," I'll be like, "Let's do it. Let's get it done."
Here, right? I will drive you to the airport. Thank you
very much. Here's some garlic fries along with it as backup, right? So
look, I'm just saying, let's just give the Niners credit they don't deserve, that they've just been pumping up Jimmy Garoppolo's trade value the whole time, and that a team like Cleveland is going to come through in 2 weeks and make it all worthwhile. I don't really believe that though, but we can say it.
We can pray for rain.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, fast forward. Pray for rain. Ryan and Jennifer Wood says they have to eliminate penalties and quit beating themselves. We have to finish drives and put points on the board. Well, if you had an identity like an offense that you practice weekly, you wouldn't have as many mistakes.
Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying earlier. You put in an offensive line that isn't used to, Trey's running ability. You're putting him in particular positions where, they don't know exactly how to block for the guy because he hasn't had too many reps. There's something called chemistry. There's something called chemistry, and that chemistry is built with practice, not with the scout team, not with running two, not with, a few plays here and there where you bring and showcase how the guy can, do a quick rollout and score a touchdown, and that's it. And there's nothing else beyond that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Tinker gives us $10 to say we're stressing him out. Sorry, Tinker. Look, we're not stressing you out. The Niners are stressing you out by losing 3 in a row. We're trying. This is therapy, all right? We're trying to talk this through by getting to the heart of the issue, so we can feel like we're in control, even though we're not. All right. The next part is Jimmy, part 2.
Yes. Let's go back to that. My analogy of Jimmy as a movie. Yeah. I was a big Star Wars fan. Loved it. It was a hit. I was a big Indiana Jones fan. Any movie that is a sequel, I am all up for. Jimmy.
Look, I like Star Wars 1 and 2, the first 2, but like the last 18, I
pass.
People are like, did you see the latest Star Wars? I'm like, Empire Strikes Back? Yeah, loved it. Great movie. Yeah.
It kind of diminishes over time. And this is the thing with Jimmy is I don't want to buy a ticket for Jimmy anymore. Like I said, I've seen where it ends. And I didn't really like the first movie to begin with. So why am I going to be buying into a second movie with Jimmy? And so, yes, Jimmy is great. He has an amazing smile. He looks good.
He's Vin Diesel in Fast and the Furious, but I don't need to see Fast and Furious 9. It's the same as Fast and the Furious 8.
No, but at least Vin Diesel got shit done. I mean, got stuff done. At least he got stuff done, right? At least he got stuff done.
He did.
Jimmy
got shit done.
Jimmy has 2 or 3 plays that he makes.
Jimmy is who's the other dude in Fast and the Furious? The dude who passed away.
It's The Rock now. The Rock carries.
No, the dude who passed away. Rest in peace. The white dude.
Paul something.
Paul Walker.
Yes.
Dude, that's Jimmy. That is Jimmy, the good guy with the pretty face who's kind of trying to play both sides. And
that's right. Not going to happen.
Paul Walker in Fast and Furious.
And then he.
Yeah. Sorry, Jimmy.
And he didn't have a good ending.
Paul Walker.
So, no. So I think with Jimmy, that we've seen the play. We've seen what he can do. It's not enough. It's not part of that 3 to 5 year strategy. It can't be.
Yeah, Paul Walker can carry that movie. You always needed Vin Diesel every single time. Sorry. Yeah, you're just not a lead actor. You're like a supporting actor who comes in and does the same thing in every movie. It's like you're not even really acting. That's Jimmy being Jimmy.
Jimmy being Jimmy.
Jimmy being Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay, we've seen the little thing where you come in, do the little cute thing, you smile. It's all great. Sorry.
I want to see, okay, here's this, Grant. I want to see, if you're really invested in Jimmy, I want to see Jimmy at the things that would make him a better football player. I want to see his Instagram, his Twitter, his Facebook, whatever he's on. I want to see those guys have Jimmy throw the ball. Have Jimmy, throw the ball more than 10 yards. Have the Jimmy throw the ball more than 10 yards, hitting garbage cans on a golf cart. I want to see Jimmy, doing the footwork drills. I want to see, okay, give me a still black
Jimmy freaking care, is what you're saying. You want to see Jimmy act like he cares. When is he ever?
Give me a 30-on-30 with Jimmy in breaking down film.
When has he ever acted like he cares? He doesn't. His whole thing is, I threw a pick. That's okay. Sorry.
No, yeah, he throws a pick. He's going to be nonchalant and smile on the sidelines.
That's what he does.
I don't want that. That is not a C. I don't want that as a C. That doesn't earn a C.
Wasn't like that. Older Niner fans that grew up on Young and Rice. No, excuse me, Young and Garcia.
Oh yeah.
It would never happen. Those guys would get so pissed, even if they were winning and their numbers weren't good. It's just, I don't know.
And you don't have anyone else on the sidelines that's going to go up to Jimmy and rattle him up a bit and say, "Stop smiling, dude. Get your head in the game. Show me that you care. You just cost us that drive. Show me that you care. That's all I want." And so, Jimmy needs to rebrand his profile. Like I said, Kaepernick he tried to do his best and he did a great job. His Instagram and his, trying to get back to NFL was at first all about Kaepernick throwing the ball, doing the drills, working out with receivers, right? You saw that from Kaepernick. I'm ready.
Let me show you my work. Yeah.
I'm showing that I'm still interested. Yeah. I'm here. The last image
Lance does it all the time.
Did you see this last image of Jimmy? He's in a Sharks uniform, at a promotional thing. And, he had something and the video was him just throwing something to the ground. I'm like, bro, that's the best pass you've had all year.
Hey, what did he do all offseason?
I don't want to say.
No one knows.
The thread,
knows, and he wants it that way.
The thread, he does want it that way.
We don't know what he does in the offseason.
The one time
if he were working tirelessly with Tom House, he would want us to know. But I don't think that's what he's doing.
No, the one time we heard of what he was doing in the offseason, it was probably not good to mention on this show.
That's right. And ever since then, he went underground. To me, the vibe he gives off is sort of a kind of a hedonist who loves his lifestyle and feels like, why would I got it all. Okay, so I'm a top 20 quarterback in the NFL. I'm not a top 5 quarterback. Okay. You get paid, you get the same amount of money. Whether you're top 20 or you're top, you get the same amount of money. And I'm gorgeous. And it's like this is great. Life is great. Why is everyone mad at me? I'm getting everything out of life that I want.
That's my DMs are blowing up, Grant.
Yeah, leave me alone. Like I'm good. I'm happy. Other people want more out of me. I'm happy. This is more than I was at Eastern Illinois. I never thought I would be doing stuff like this. Are you kidding me? This is I already won in life. That's the way I see him.
And let's go back again. The theme of this show should have been
like that.
The theme of this show should have been a tone from the top, because again, if the tone from the top is this behavior is unacceptable, we want our captains here 5 a.m. we want our captains here doing XYZ. No matter if you're a professional and we're paying you, we want this. We expect this out of our top players. We expect this out of our captains. We expect this out of our leaders. Then you would see something different. But we're not seeing that. We're seeing him, time and time again. There's no one on the sidelines going up to him and saying, dude, step up. I don't think the coaches are really on him the way they may be on some of these people they put in the doghouse. Yeah. Right? He gets a pass. I can't tolerate
Jimmy gets an eternal pass. McGlinchey gets an eternal pass, but Ayuk needs to be better.
Yeah.
We need to move on. It's very strange. The Jedi says Jimmy is DC Universe. Can we please go Marvel Trey? Sure. All right. Let's talk about Trey.
Yep.
This section is called Why Trey Needs Playing Time and Not Scout Teamwork.
That's right. The hashtag get him reps. Credit that to my boy Cebu, who's up on the thread. This hashtag is pretty much our hashtag in our thread. Trey Lance needs to develop, and he needs to develop. The only way he's going to develop is with actual playing time. Look at the other people that were picked in that first round as quarterbacks. Let's just go through the list. Trevor Lawrence. Hey, we knew he was going to be good. He is good. He has some growing pains. The team around him is not that great. But you know what? He's improving. There is a steady barometer of improvement with Trevor Lawrence. And it was expected, right?
Yeah.
Okay, boom. Now you go down number 2. Zach Wilson. I thought he was actually from Saved by the Bell for a little while because the guy looked like he was fit for a sitcom.
Yeah.
Fine. They took a flyer on him. They have no other backup, but he's getting reps. And you know what? He shows signs. You can't expect a guy like that to come in and just dominate on the Jets. Right? I mean, you put him in a better situation, Green Bay, something like that, where you have some stability. Zach Wilson might be pretty good, but you're giving him a first-year coach, a defensive coach. You're giving him, probably not really any weapons, and yet you're asking him to work his way back up. Okay, I give him a pass. He's got some leveling to do. Mac Jones, again, you're giving him all the confidence you need. There's no one over his shoulder. You've gotten rid of any sort of veteran quarterback.
You got Belichick saying, "You're my guy.
You're my guy.
You're my guy."
There's the endorsement. That's what you need. You need an
Saban
endorsement.
said it. Belichick. He's had very high-level coaches co-sign him. That's heady stuff. You
don't think that plays?
Meanwhile, Trey Lance is over here somewhere in Santa Clara. Like, does he like me? I don't even know if he likes me.
Yes, this is the
thing.
I
don't even know.
This is 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I had a 2-minute rant on the thread, and it was all about the psychological state of Trey Lance, because the psychological state of Trey Lance is again a complete mess up. He doesn't know when he's going to get in. If he gets in, he's not going to he's not going to be in a position to succeed.
Right.
You got him running the scout team and not the A team. You've got him building chemistry with, waiver
players he doesn't get to play with during the game.
Right. And then once he gets injured, you say, okay, well, you know what? Even when you get back, Jimmy's still our guy.
Thanks.
This is not right. I mean, this is imagine this is like you get married and your wife goes, I never really kind of liked you. I kind of had to settle for you. And even when you're like,
it's like Casino. Have you seen Casino?
Yes.
So she marries Robert De Niro, but she's still got dude on the side that she really likes better, that she's bringing money to. It's like, I'm sorry. That's what it's like.
That's what it's like. And how are you going to get this guy to be your leader if you are already putting in doubt in his mind?
That's right.
You're paying these people so much money. You got to hype them up. You got to be there. Okay, let me tell you this, Grant. I'm auditioning right now for the hype man for the 49ers. Let me be the hype man for Trey Lance. I'm going to be there. Let's go, Trey. Pat him on the shoulders. Get him, build his confidence.
Hey, because someone needs to do it because his head coach won't. Harbaugh used to do that stuff. Still does it in Michigan. You still see him doing that same little thing he does where he slaps a guy around.
You got to do that as a head coach.
You do.
Harold does it. This last night, I was thinking, Harbaugh, we had something amazing. Harbaugh, what did we have? We didn't have that. We had a strategy, but more importantly, we had a unifying motto. Who's got it better than us, Grant?
It's true. Nobody.
What do we have now? What's our motto? What's something to rally around?
All the mottos left with Robert Saleh. Saleh was the motto man. He had all gas, no brakes, extreme violence, yada yada yada. He understood the importance of unifying mottos. Kyle's motto is there's some good, some bad. By no means were we perfect.
Yeah, that's not a motto.
By no means were we perfect, but it never is.
That's
I don't even know if we'll be alive. No. The motto of this season is I don't even know if we'll be alive next Sunday. That's the most interesting thing he said all year.
Are you going to put that on a t-shirt?
Yes. That and free IU. All right, we got to move on. Matt H says media's reaction to Kyle's hot seat is he'd be on the street for 3 minutes before he lands another head coach job. Is Jed afraid to let Kyle Shanahan be the one that got away? Of course. Jed looks dumb if Kyle goes somewhere else and succeeds. But you wouldn't fire Kyle. You would trade him to the freaking Raiders for 2 first-round picks and let Mark Davis mess that up. Right. I'm just saying.
Right. There's plenty of options.
Yeah. Vikram says Lance will be a starter with or without Shanahan. Up to Kyle which way he wants. No, I'm with you on that.
Have to be. You just gave up everything for this person. You gave up the next 3 to 5 years of great picks for Trey. You have to be there.
And as much as Jed likes Kyle, I would imagine he likes Trey Lance too. And Trey Lance really offers more marketable hope than Kyle at this point. So Kyle, you might want to get on board.
Hey, we all know what happened with John Gruden being the face of the franchise in Vegas. His face was plastered everywhere. Like, this is the guy. We're building
coming to Vegas. Here comes Gruden. Here's the team. Not Derek Carr.
Bro, that ain't going to get it done.
No.
Talent will win championships. Talent will win you acclaim. Talent will fill seats in the stadium. It's not the head coach with a red hat.
And, it feels a lot like right before Harbaugh got here. Talented team, kind of mismanaged, kind of going around 500. You stuck around 500. You just need someone to come here and really unlock the talent that already exists. Man, it's like history repeating itself. Just someone who can work with a really mobile young quarterback who could do it. Well, if only Jed didn't eviscerate that bridge. Okay, let's move on. Murky waters. Crystal ball for a season filled with more haze than hope. How do you see this playing out? A bounce back or a slow train wreck?
I am at my core a glass half full guy. As much as the previous person left a comment saying you guys are stressed out, I'm a half full guy. I want them to succeed. These are my boys. This is what I root for every single day and jump out of my sofa and rattle my kids and say, look, you guys are going to be Niner fans. I want them to succeed. It is by no way a sinking ship. No way. We have one of the best defenses, even with no-name people in the secondary. We almost beat the number 1 team in the NFL.
Outgained him on the road.
Right?
Legitimately should have won the game had they not gone for it on 4th down 5 times. Probably win.
You have all of these things, and more importantly, you have talent. It's not like suddenly we are the Detroit Lions waiting on Goff to suddenly be the savior.
Debo, Bosa, Trent Williams, Trey Lance, Fred Warner. Did I say Bosa? Yes.
Bosa, baby. Bosa.
Baby Bosa. Also Armstead playing well. Yes, a lot of talent.
So we have talent. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on.
Use check.
Hold on. 85, bro. Are we forgetting that we have the number 2 tight end in the freaking NFL? What have we been doing with him?
Vernon Davis. Brandon Lloyd.
No.
Who are we talking? I forgot. There used to be a really good 85 on this team. I haven't seen him in the longest
Rhymes
time.
With Skittle.
Yes. Oh, he used to be terrific. Man, I loved him.
He was flying on the fantasy boards ahead, right behind Kelsey.
They should bring him back.
Right? Not only that they should bring him back. Let's put him in a position to succeed, Grant.
He's in IR right now. We're going to need him to freaking find a way to stay healthy for a while. George, I'm a little disappointed in George.
Yeah.
George is Cinderella, okay? He was hanging around with his with his godmother or whatever, and not doing much. 5th round pick. All of a sudden, gets a little magic, goes to the ball. Everyone thinks he's great, gets the extension right before midlight, turns into a pumpkin. Now he's a pumpkin. Been a pumpkin for 2 years, man. I don't know what to say on Kittle.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping Kittle has again, glass half full. Let's look at the picture after these next 2 weeks. Let's see where we're at. Let's do another State of the Union, state of Shanny. Let's do it after 2 weeks. Let's see if we've learned from some of our mistakes. The NFL added one more game, if I last recall. Right? They added one more game.
And another team gets to go to the playoffs. All of this works in the Niners' favor.
That surely does. at the beginning of the season, again, for the Niner hopeful, the Niner fan base, the beginning of the season, we had high hopes. We still have high hopes. Let's not, because we're not doing bad at 2-3, let's not say that we don't have high hopes. We have high hopes. The NFC West is our biggest opponent. The NFC West is stacked. You're not going to go, I don't think, I'm gonna pray my Salah, every day. I don't think they're getting by Arizona. They're not going to climb over Arizona. No way. Okay. Can you climb over the Rams? Yes. Can you climb over Seattle? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So
Yeah.
where you have a legitimate chance, the ship can be corrected.
Yeah.
Put the talent in, Kyle. Put in something that's going to work for the talent. Do something.
I mean, like you got Green Bay's going to win the North, Dallas is going to win the East, Tampa's going to win the South, Arizona's going to win the West, probably. So then the wild cards will be the Rams, and then it could be the Niners, the Saints, those three. It could be the Niners, the Rams, the Saints. Why not? I mean, the Vikings are in the conversation. Why not the Niners? It's not that out of the. I mean, it's the Niners, the Seahawks, the Saints. Those are the teams, and the Rams.
Those are the
so
teams.
Like there'll be one team will be the odd man out. Who am I freaking? Carolina's not going to do anything. No. Philly's not going to do anything. Minnesota, maybe Minnesota's in there. Minnesota. That's it.
They always
do it.
They could do it. We could do it. We are going to do it. We are going to do it. We're gonna get ourselves into the playoffs by hook or crook. Niners need to establish themselves as a confident franchise. Niners need to go back to what they do best. They need to figure out who the right people are. They already know. I don't know why they're not playing them. They need to put those people on the field, and they need to practice with those people. They need to practice with those people during these off weeks. And that's why it hurts me so much that Trey missed out on these 2 weeks during the bye. That would have been an amazing opportunity for him, for the coaches to really work with him and get him in with the first team and put in a game plan that's going to make him effective. And that game where they ran him 16 times and got him hurt, that hurts.
Yeah. I think this is a really good place to end the show because it's a positive note. We have one more topic from Trey. Hype man is not needed. The hoodie guy in New England never hypes anyone up. The players just need to have it in them. Trey has the work ethic like Russell Wilson. How many coaches, though, have failed trying to be like Bill Belichick? It seems to me that, A, Belichick is one of one, and two, he's never won without Brady. Can I just remind people that he's never won without Brady, and maybe there was something about Brady that unlocked Belichick's greatness?
I don't know. The GOAT, could the GOAT have anything to do with Belichick's success? Belichick wasn't Belichick before he got to New England and Brady, right?
He was a great coordinator with the Giants in the 80s, but not the top dude. Yeah. Then went to the Cleveland Browns and did nothing. Then he went to the Patriots and did nothing until Brady took over. And then that's been 20 years. And now, they're got a losing record with Mac Jones, but we'll see what they do we'll see what he does. He's never proven that that his style works without either Bill Parcells or Tom Brady basically providing that type of stuff.
Let's go back to humanity as a person. Are you going to do better with someone building up your confidence, or are you going to be doing better with someone second guessing, passive aggression, and maybe just kind of, pushing you to the side and willing you to get better by yourself?
I hate people like that. And I've worked for people like that, and I still hate them. Those are the kind of people that you hate your whole lives.
You don't. Yeah.
Maybe they bring out the best in you, but in spite of them, and you almost would want revenge. Like
would you want to happen
and you could get away with it? You'd be like, yeah, I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten about that time.
Would you be on LinkedIn the next day saying, hey, I'm going to do my best here. I'm going to prove myself. But once that's done, I'm out.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell people how much I hate you.
Yeah.
How much? Don't ever work for this guy.
Exactly. So
he will make you lose sleep at night.
Football is like any other sport. These people aren't just, fantasy players and numbers that they put up scores every, week. These are real people.
Yeah.
Let's start thinking about it as real people. Solve the problem as a real person. And I'm telling you, they're going to do good. I'm not. So, hey, my hype man offer is still is open, Jed. However, we need some positive in that locker room, something more than what Kyle's giving. And,
Robert Saleh was nonstop positivity. Kyle's very negative. So D'Amico's very stoic. I don't know if he balances out all of Kyle's negativity. It's interesting. Anyway, Shoaib, A+. This was phenomenal. Great show.
That means a lot. That means a lot.
It was great. I loved it. I'll be back on in 25 minutes with Coach Noah Johnson. It's going to be a little bit of like a streaming marathon today because the Niners are off. So I'll be back in a little bit. See everyone. See you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me. Let's go to the thread.